Hello and welcome. Today we're taking a look at the Synchro Spam Deck, the menace of Master Duels with turns ranging up to 50 minutes or something like that. And this list is going to bring that into the TCG. We're going to focus on bringing out all Stardust God, Stardust boss monsters from Yusei, so we're more on the fun and casual side, which is a bit different to some other lists on my channel. Hope you're going to enjoy this deck profile, and at the end I'm going to add a full combo to show you what the peak of this deck can be like. And before we get right into it, remember to subscribe to not miss out on future deck profiles and test stands. And talking about test stands, let me know in the comments down below if you want to see some extra test stands about this one. I can certainly provide that to you. Now let's get right into it. So starting our deck profile, we're starting with the tuners. Obviously the Stardust Syncron can't be missed in a Stardust based deck. And we're also playing the Junk Syncron. It's one of the oldest and still most relevant cards in this deck list. Then we're playing a bunch of random one-off Synchrons, the Cyberse Syncron and the Jet Syncron. Finally we have the spec. Considering playing more of them, but so far I'm fine. The important thing is we really like having level 1 Synchros here. Then for level 2 we play the Fluer Syncron, and then a level 5 Quick Draw Syncron. Important obviously that these are Syncron cards, which works well with the overall deck. Moving into some non-tuner monsters, we have one of the most important ones, the Junk Converter. It is the actually most important card I think in this deck. It's just the play starter setting us up for our instant level 5. Another very important card is the Doppel Warriro. It's just insane. Luckily this card is not really once per turn. It's a level 2 non-tuner monster that brings us a bunch of tokens that we can use obviously for our Synchro summoning plays. Then we play one Conveying Wish Dragon or something like that. Obviously a bit of a clunky card, but it gets the job done. And we kind of need it for one of our majestic dragons, so that's that. And with it we also play the Omni dragon Brotaur. It actually is really good. It sets up the main line of play way more consistently. We need way less specific cards in hand to get stuff done. Then we're playing a bunch of extenders for different Synchro plays, a Synchro Carrier, Boost Warrior, and the something Confit, and the Caligo Claw. Getting 3 bodies onto the field in the level 1 to 2 range to set up for our Synchro Toolbox cards, and also to have fodder for the Stardust Syncron effect. It's just overall pretty helpful. And then we play a bunch of cards that aren't really linked to the main deck full combo, but that are good nonetheless. We play the Ascator package, just 3 level 8 Synchro. It comes up if you have nothing else, and it's obviously pretty neat, but I mean, it is cuttable. Getting extra tuners though can be decently nice. So next we're going to play a bunch of consistency cards to see our main line and our tuners and everything like that. So Synchro Overtake and some tuning. Obviously that stuff gets the job done. And a Rhoda, I mean, it searches us our Junk Syncron as well. So yeah, we play a bunch more copies of our game starter. The good thing is, Brotaur, for example, can also search the Doppel Warriro, so that's something. Then we play random Monster Reborn in here. It is kind of fine. Obviously, if we get hand trapped or something else, we usually just, concede. But sometimes with Monster Reborn, we can at least try to get something else done. Then one Arrival and Light, we're not playing more of the Stardust Syncron package as I mentioned earlier, but this one is kinda needed at least as a basic. Then, well, who would have thought, we play 3 Living Fossil, and we also play 1 Black Garden. Obviously this is needed for the combo. Living Fossil luckily is also kinda Monster Reborn, so it's also a decently good card. And now we come into the heart of this deck, the extra deck. Starting with our Synchro boss monsters, god cards. I don't know what these Stardust Dragon cards are supposed to be. The Majestic Shooting Dragon, Blazer Dragon, Quasar, and Cypher, something like that. yeah, not all of them are all that great, but the majority of them are. And getting all of these out, man, you feel like you're actually revving it up. How the kids say nowadays, I guess. Then we play some other support cards. Crystal Wing is also actually an end board card for us, and it's yeah, one of the best Synchro cards really we can make, especially considering that we don't play any links, so we can't go into Savage. Then for some, well, cards for our combo, we obviously play one Power Tool Dragon here. The Stardust Charge Warrior, I mean, it comes up, but not all that often, but say it's level 6. Then this one is very important, the Garden Rose Maiden, to revive back our Crystal Wing later on. Then we play 2 Soya the Rainstorm, very fittingly, as right now there's a fucking rainstorm outside. And yeah, these are some really neat cards that, well, maybe not every deck can really consider, and are certainly one of the more cuttable cards if you want to get your deck a bit more into the competitive area. Then this card obviously can't be missed. It's actually insane. I mean, imagine if any other deck could just summon 5 cards out of your out of your main deck. Insane. Then we play the Divine Double Star Shaman, something like that. A pretty neat card that's a level 2 tuner. It's decently helpful. These are the most cards that we need for our mainline combo. Most of the time we play 1 Cupid Pitch and 1 Martial Metal Marcher, because these cards are usually pretty great. So if we don't get into our mainline combo, we still can make some really nice plays with these cards. The only issue obviously is in our list that where are we going with these, right? Our only low level monster, low level boss monster is level 8, so that's cool, and then the rest is level 12 to level 11. So yeah, it's a bit harsh. And then lastly, we have to play 1 Junk Warrior for the Synchro Overtake as a search target. Okay, so we're coming into the full combo. This will take a while, but I hopefully can explain it to you all well. And yeah, it actually doesn't need that much. We need 1 discard. This can also be Doppel Warriro directly, but for argument's sake, let's just say this is a random discard. This doesn't have to be a tuner, just a random discard. Then we need our Junk Converter, as I mentioned in the profile. This is the most important card for getting your plays started. And then we need 1 tuner as a discard. It doesn't actually have to be the Cyberse Syncron. Any tuner will do. For example, like any one of these 3-offs that we actually play. So then let's get started. We're activating the effect to discard himself and tuner to search our Junk Syncron to hand. We're going to normal summon the Junk Syncron and using its effect to summon back a level 2, in this case the Junk Converter. Now using both of them to synchro summon into our very fair and very great card, the Junk Speeder. We're going to put it here. You can't really see it because that's how the playmats kind of work, but it's in the extra monster zone. Can be in either one really, but well, it has to be in an extra monster zone because we're going to use its effect to the fullest and going to summon out an entire board of cards here. So while summoning, don't forget to activate the effect to add the Arrival in Light to your hand. We're not going to activate it just yet because first we're going to directly go into the next Synchro Summon using the level 2 and our Junk Speeder to make the Power Tool Dragon. Power Tool Dragon's effect on summon will allow us to show our opponent that we have 3 equipped spells and we will get to add 1 to hand. Sure, it's a bit annoying if you already have one, so you can't use this effect, but the most important part is to actually get Living Fossil in hand. Sure, getting extra card advantage is nice, but overall it's not necessary for the combo. So now after adding Living Fossil to our hand, we can activate Arrival in Light, which will allow us to stack our deck. We will get the Conveying Wish Dragon onto the top of our deck. That's pretty important because for the next step we're going to conduct the next Synchro Summon, which will be very important. Synchro Summoning into the Crystal Wing, we can again place it up there, pretty lovely. Now we have 2 effects that we can use here. First we're going to use the Jet Syncron's effect to win Synchro Summon to get us another card in hand. We can take any junk card really, with just another discard material for its effect. The other one, Arrival in Light, will us allow to draw a card, and if we draw, the Conveying Wish Dragon, we can immediately summon it. Also, that has a pretty neat effect. If you control, I think it's a Synchro level 8 dragon or something like that, which we have, we can special summon one level 1 dragon from our deck. And in this case, we will summon the Omni Dragon Brotaur, which is pretty lovely because Omni Dragon Brotaur's effect allows us to discard a card and we will target the Junk Syncron, and that will allow us to get a Dark Warrior monster, right, the same attribute and type, to our hand, which will get Doppel Warriro into rotation. Now, before we go into our first boss monster, we will use the Omni Dragon Brotaur and our Stardust Syncron to make a level 5, and it will be our first Suhaya or something like that, excuse me. In grave, we will trigger the effect of our Stardust Syncron to tribute the Quick Draw Syncron to special summon back. Using this, we'll activate Doppel Warriro in our hand to special summon. Now, with this, we have a level 1, level 2, and a level 8. So with that, we can lovely climb to this shooting majestic Stardust Dragon, which is a level 11, which has some harsher requirements than our other friends. We will place it up here. Take a good look at it, because now it will disappear into the abyss of the camera. Using Doppel Warriro for a Synchro Summon has a pretty neat effect that we will get some tokens. Obviously, these are Dark Warrior tokens, so I just take these phantasmic tokens here that I have lying around. But it's pretty important to consider the fact that they're indeed level 1 tokens, which we can see here. Then we will use the Stardust Syncron again, and one of the tokens to go into another level 5. In this case, it should be the other one. So if you have made Soya first, then we will make the Garden Rose Maiden now, and that will allow us to search the Black Garden. Now it's time to use the effect of our Jet Syncron here in grave, special summoning it back and discarding the card that we search with its own effect, or some other hand card that you have. But yeah, with this, we only started with one random discard. Jet Syncron, lovely card, searches its own discard material. Now with level 1 and the level 1 token, we will go into another Synchro Summon. Remember, this one will be banished. We will go into our lovely Divine Shaman of Double Stars or whatever, and we will use its effect to summon back a Junk Converter. At this point, we should have had at least one in rotation. Now we will use the level 5s and the level 2 to conduct a major Synchro Summon into, well, let's take the Cosmic Blazer Dragon here, for example. Now, to get out the other bodies, we have quite a few ways. Synchro Summoning with our Junk friends here into another level 5. We will go into the other Soya, and that will allow us to do 2 things. First of all, Junk Converter's effect, if we use it for Synchro Summoning, can bring back the Divine Shaman, and Soja's effect obviously brings back the Twin. And now, before we go into the next Synchro Summoning, it's pretty important that we activate Black Garden right now. And yeah, this will allow us to generate some tokens on our opponent's field. It's hard to really show this off with how single player setups work, but let's just say our opponent just got 1 Black Rose token because we summoned Quasar. Now we can use the effect of Suhaya in grave, banish 1 and summon back the other, which will give our opponent another token here. And then we can use the effect of Black Garden to destroy itself and all the tokens to summon out the Garden Rose Maiden. Now we will use our final card, the Living Fossil, to summon back the Shaman as well and conduct kind of the last Synchro Summon. For this, obviously, the Shaman will get banished due to the effect of Living Fossil, and we will get Cypher or Cypher, something like that. And we can get to even a better end board if we use the Graveyard effect of Garden Rose Maiden to banish herself, and then we will get back our lovely Crystal Wing from the very start. So, obviously, this is a pretty long combo using quite a variety of cards. I mean, our extra deck is, I mean, we don't have much more left here. Could be worse, I guess. We have a bunch of different types of negates, protection abilities, double attacks. This is a pretty formidable board going first or second, but obviously, yeah, kind of like try this going second, man. You will get negated, you will cry, and you will have a bad time. But obviously, this is a bit more of a fun deck, utilizing many synchro summoning mechanics over the years and getting some of the pretty cool end boss cards that we saw in the anime and that are still seeing a variety of play today. That's it for Synchro Deck today. Again, leave a comment if you would like to see some more test hands in the future. Overall, this is a pretty fun and casual deck, I'd say, but we still bring out some formidable end board pieces. Obviously, you can make this list way more competitive, which is something that we may take a look in the future. There are various ways to do that, simply changing many of these extra deck cards around, playing some more toolbox cards and enablers, and some lower level boss monsters would just help this deck to play around various interruptions etc. But with the new support coming in a few months, you might want to subscribe to not miss out on a potential deck upgrade with all the new banger cards coming out. So till then, in the near future, take care my friends, and bye bye.